Hey yo, we're Reeve and Crystal. If you didn't know, we live off-grid. We're building a homestead in Alaska, and today we're going to teach you how we do laundry off-grid. Well, at least I'm going to teach you.
I'm going to go feed some critters.
Meet you back at breakfast?
Deal.
Now, when we first moved out onto this property, it was just raw wilderness. There was nothing here, not a driveway, not a stitch of lumber. There was nothing here. And so we lived at the very front of the property in the camper, and I did laundry with this lovely friend and a bin outside and a jug of water. And I thought that was going to be like the best day of my life, living off-grid and using this old-fashioned washboard, but it was not. It's pretty much just a lot of really yucky work, and for any of you that are still doing laundry like this, more power to you. I got a lot of respect for you, friend. But we have made some upgrades like a shelter and outlets. We have a little tiny solar system. Pretty much we can run a vacuum cleaner, but nothing else when the vacuum cleaner's running. So we have a 2,000 watt system. And so we do have the ability to plug in a little bit of power, but not a whole lot. So let me show you my laundry setup now. Okay, so this is our tiny little washing machine. It's pretty rudimentary. It's only about 2 feet tall, and it's got 3 knobs and no bells and whistles or lights. It does plug in. It uses 240 watts of power when it's washing and 120 watts of power when it's spinning. And when you live off-grid, you really think about how many watts of power are you using. So for a refrigerator just to run every day without the compressor going on, it's about 120 watts of power, which is about the same as this spinner. So we're okay with the amount of draw. And whenever we buy an electrical appliance, that's what we look at. How much power does it use? And like I said before, our vacuum cleaner, we can run it and nothing else, but it's because it runs about 1,200 watts or 1,500 watts. So that's really actually a lot of power. And I was shocked to learn that a vacuum cleaner uses that much power. But this washing tub and this spinner, I can run both at the same time, and it doesn't blow the breaker on our system. So I'll try to do the best I can to show you the inside of this guy. Okay, so this is the wash side. You can put, it says you can put 9 pounds of laundry in here. And I'll show you in a minute like how much really fits in there. But basically this is about the size well of a 5-gallon bucket. So that's kind of a lot of clothes that we can get in there. And it washes pretty decently. The spinner is tiny. Like you can get 2 pairs of socks and a wash towel in there, and that's about it. But it spins super fast and gets the clothes much drier than a traditional washer and dryer. So let me show you how I make it work. It has this teeny tiny little drain hose, which is, I mean, it's 18 inches if it's anything. And so it needs to go into a drain source. Like you could do this outside, and that would be just fine. But our only source, because we just got drains, we're not running water, but we have drains now. If I can get this little hose inside my sink, then when I go to drain it, the water will go actually down the drain, which is like this whole lovely concept that we have not had for 4 years now. So if you can't tell, I'm real excited about the drains. Because our sink is a little bit higher than our countertop here, I need to lift this washing machine up so that it will drain all the way out. And like I said before, this hose is really flimsy, so I need to weight it down. And so I'll show you my magic trick for that. The end of the hose has this little hook on it, which really is just a hook so it can get stowed away and not make a big mess. But it also is just the right size for my tongs. I just put that on there, and it weighs it down and keeps it in the sink. I'm actually pretty short, so I'm going to stand on this stool to do the laundry. So let's see what fits in here. Okay, a pair of my work pants. I usually start with the cleanest stuff first, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Some leggings, work shirt. I can get 2 pairs of work pants in there. Let's see. I think I can get one more thing in there. Work shirt. That's about it. It's about all that's going to fit in there. Now, we don't have running water, so There is a little outlet here for people that do have running water, and I think you just connect a hose there and then you fill it up. It doesn't have like an autofill thing. You got to watch it, make sure it doesn't overflow. But I fill it by hand, so let me show you that. This is our bulk water station here down in the kitchen. In it goes. Now this is just a 2-liter pitcher that we use for water. I've got 4 of these pitchers in there, and now we need some hot water. Now we call this our Homestead hot water heater. It sits on top of our wood stove that keeps the water warm, but really it's just a 10-gallon brewer's pot. It has a spout at the bottom that Mr. Reeve changed to be a much better spout than it originally came with, and it has a temperature gauge on it. This is where we get all the water for showers, laundry, washing hands, dishes, all the things. Now before I put the hot water in there, I put in this homemade laundry soap, which is just some washing soda that I get a really good deal from Azure Standard. Some old bar soap, if I have bar soap I don't like, or some failed batches because I make soap. And those little tiny pieces are little frou-frou smelly parts, that extra smelly stuff that you can get at the grocery store to put in your laundry to make it smell great. Then I pour the hot water over it because it will really help all of those little soap pieces dissolve. This water is about 180 degrees, so that will make this nice and warm. Ooh, hot. And then I just kind of mix it up a little bit to get it started. All right, this machine's pretty simple. It's got 3 different knobs. This one is the wash timer knob. It can go up to 15 minutes, and if you remember looking in the bottom of this drum, there's an agitator in there, and it spins one direction for a while, and then it stops and spins the other way. So it actually agitates pretty well. This says standard wash and spin, and really it's a lie. It means I'm not gonna drain and I am gonna drain. So you want to remember that when you put the water in the wash, you turn that to standard wash. Remember, not gonna drain. That's important, otherwise you lose all your water. And then this knob we'll use a little bit, and it's for the spinner. So we're just gonna turn it on. We'll let it wash 15 minutes. You'll hear it stopping, and we can look at it. It'll start to get the clothes moving around. And it'll stop, and it goes the other way. Okay, so now we do the spinning. Now remember how tiny that little spinner drum was? So we can only do just a little bit at a time. Usually 1 pair of pants will fit, or a couple of small items. I did make the mistake. I don't know why I thought it was going to work, but I washed a pair of queen size fleece sheets in the washer bin because it fit all the way in there, but there was no way it was going to fit in this tiny little spinner. So you can wash big things, but you cannot spin big things. So you need to remember that. Like, I would never wash a coat in here. We don't wash blankets. We can wash towels, like bath towels, as long as we plan on hand wringing them out. But pretty much I don't wash coats, blankets, sheets, or Mr. Reeve's overalls in here. But everything else we do. And my neighbor is really kind, and so we trade her eggs or whatever, and she lets us use her washing machine for those bigger items. And truth be told, she would let me use it for free. It's just I like to be neighborly. So you put it in the spin, you set it. Sometimes it gets unbalanced, and so if it does get unbalanced, right now it's balanced, but if it was unbalanced, you could open it, and it has a safety stop, which I was really surprised about. So it stops instantly when you open the door, and you can kind of readjust it and put it back in there, and when you close it, it'll start spinning again. And then the water from your spun clothes just goes down the little hose and down the drain, unless it was 2 weeks ago at our house and we had a 5-gallon bucket under our sink. But now, drains, baby. Bit by bit, we're gonna get all of these spun. And remember I said I was gonna save this water? And like, it's not the cleanest water, I'll tell you that, but these are just my work clothes, and I have a full-time off-farm job at an office, so that I don't get real dirty. But I will use that as pre-soak for yuckier things like socks and long johns and dish towels. Okay, I want to show you how dry. I mean, this is one of my shirts. It's dry. It is so dry. And in a minute, I'll show you how I dry it the rest of the way. But I'm going to keep going on the laundry and get breakfast started. And then I'll meet you back in a little bit. All right, you ready for breakfast?
Yeah, I am.
There you go.
All right. Yeah.
Sun's out today.
I know. Yay.
Yeah, huh?
The sun's out and it's not 35 below zero.
Woohoo!
Mmm. This smells amazing.
What do you think of that sausage?
Wow.
It's really good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did a new seasoning blend. Ask me if I wrote it down. Nah.
I know better than that.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. What
Thanks,
else
love.
Yeah, what else is on your agenda today?
Do all the things.
All the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me too. All right, you eat your breakfast?
All that free time we got.
Right. I'll get back to the laundry.
Thank you, love.
Okay, here's our basket of laundry. We got everything all washed and spun out dry as it can be, at least for now. I'll show you how to empty the bin, and then we'll get these the rest of the way dry. All right, we got our rinse water left in here. I always add a splash of vinegar at the end. And then you just turn it. Remember, this says spin. That's a lie. It means drain. And then it all drains out. Now, I put that vinegar in at the end so that it keeps the machine clean and it doesn't get all skanky over time. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Now, up here in the loft portion of our cabin, we have this little clothes drying rack. And basically, I come up here when I do laundry and I pull the dry clothes down and get those put away and hang the wet clothes up. In the winter time, it'll take less than a day for the clothes to dry up here because it gets really warm up here. It's probably 80 degrees up here because the wood stove and, you know, heat rises and all that goodness. But in the summer, it takes a little bit more than a day. But still, I didn't have to use any power to dry these clothes. That makes me happy. If you're wondering about how much that machine cost, I think I paid $118 for it, and that's because like the box was damaged. But full price, it's about $140, which a year or so ago, they used to be about $300. It's definitely not made in America because the instructions are very poorly translated. But if you really wanted a made in America one, there is a really cool Black & Decker type wash machine system, but it's $400. And so I opted for this cheaper one, and I have been very happy with it. In terms of water usage, a regular load of laundry in your regular washing machine, at least a regular standard washing machine, is about 25 gallons of water. And for me to do 2 loads of laundry, like actual full loads, not teeny washing machine loads, I use about 20 gallons of water. So for us, that's great because we also haul water. If you didn't notice this big, beautiful blue tub and tank over here, this is our 55-gallon gravity feed water storage tank to feed water to the faucet downstairs so that I have water in my faucet. I'll put the link for the washing machine down in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you would share this video, that helps our channel out a whole lot when you share videos. And we'll catch you on the next one.